Hello students. So we have finished the we can say third chapter. Today we are going to start the new chapter. It is the eighth chapter in the textbook, that is the metallurgy. Now you might be thinking, now why I have taken this eighth chapter metallurgy one. Now this chapter is there. It is related to we can say the second chapter as well as third chapter. That is the periodic classification of elements, and then we can say this the balancing equations. In this chapter, there are so many we can say reactions are there. So many reactions you can classify into we can say exothermic, endothermic reactions, oxidation reduction reactions. So it will be we can say that easy to study this chapter if you are concerned with the we can say chapter number 3 as well as the 2. So let us start with the we can say this chapter, that is metallurgy 1. In this chapter, we'll study about the we can say the physical properties of metals, physical properties of non-metals, then chemical properties of the we can say metals, chemical properties of non-metals. Afterwards, the reactivity series will study. Then afterwards, the we can say the how these metals are extracted. That is the we can say this metallurgical operations are there that we study. Then afterwards, the extraction of the we can say reactive metals, extractions of the medium reactive metals, extractions of the least we can say the reactive metals one. Then afterwards we'll study we can say that there are the corrosion, how the corrosion take place and how it is minimized, or how we can say remove the decrease this corrosion one. The chapter is quite big, but if you study systematically, you will get more interest in that one, and it will be easy to study. So let us start with the we can say this metallurgy with the physical properties of metals and non-metals one. See, in the second chapter, you studied the modern periodic table one. In that table, you have seen that the group number 1, group number 2, okay, these are the we can say reactive metals one. Then afterwards, you have seen about the 13 to till 18 groups. In the 13 to 18, we can say that if we go further one, from 13 to 18, the non-metallic character increases one. At that side, we will find out the we can say non-metals one. Still we can say that the group number 30, from group number 1 to group number 30, there are metals are there. We have seen that the group number 3 to 12, these are the we can say transition metals, they are metals one. 13, there are few metals are there. Then afterwards you can see there are metalloids are there on the border, zigzag line is shown, that are the we can say metalloids one. And afterwards the non-metallic we can say that the elements are there. Overall, if you see the table one, in that we can say that the 80% metals are there, means out of 100 and we can say 18, near about you will find out that there are the 100 elements are there that are the metals one, and remaining we can say that elements are there, means we can say we don't say all 81, this will 10 to 12 we can say elements are there that are the non-metals one. So let us begin with the we can say that the physical properties of metals and non-metals. Now why we call it as a metals and why we call it as non-metals? By observing their properties, one can identify which are metals and which are non-metals. See, we have seen in the we can say classification one. Before classification, we discussed that elements are there. Elements are classified into metals, non-metals, and metalloids one. So these metals are there. These metals we can say that they have the different property than the we can say the non-metals one. Which are the property? Let us discuss here now. See the first property, that is the physical properties of metals one. In the physical properties one, these properties we study the we can say that both the properties together one. These metals are there. Metals have luster. Now luster means what? This, when light falls on the metal one, that time lights get reflected one. Lights get shines one. So the reflection takes place, which is called as the lusterless. Metals are luster. Second, metals are, we can say that the ductile. Ductile, it means we can draw the thin wires from the metals. Means we can draw the, we can say thin wires from the metals. Then metals are there that are, we can say that the malleable. Malleable, that is we can draw, we can hammer into thin sheets one. If we hammer the metals one, we can form the thin sheets of the metal one. That property is called as the malleability. So ductility means we can draw thin wires one. Okay, we can draw thin wires like copper wire, aluminum wire, or we can say gold rings are there, aluminum we are there is silver rings are there. So like this we can form the thin wires one. That is property is called ductility one. Malleability, if we hammer the metal one, that time it forms thin sheets one. You have seen the iron roof. That is, we can say that the malleable. That is called malleability. The property is called malleability. Metals have luster, and when light falls on it, light gets reflected one. That is the luster property one. If you see the natures of the, we can say that the this metals one. Metals are generally soluble. They are generally soluble. Only we can say that the two metals are there, that is gallium and mercury. These two metals are there, they are in the liquid form. And when all metals are there, they are, we can say, they are in the solid state one. So that is metals are soluble. Then metals are there, they are hard. Only we can say that the few metals are there, like we can say potassium, sodium. These metals are there, they are, we can say that the soft one. They can cut into the knife one. So these are the, we can say, some exceptions are there. We cannot say that all the properties are shown, that means all are metals or they are not metals. So there are some exceptions are there, but most of the properties they show of the metals, so they are called as metals one. That elements are called metals one. So they are solid one, they are hard one, even their melting points and boiling points, they are also high one. The melting points and boiling points are also high. Melting point means what? They converts into liquid state. It's on heating what happens at one temperature, this solid converts into liquid. That is called melting point. And when liquid starts boiling one, it starts converting into gaseous. It is called as a boiling point one. So there are, we can say, these metals are there. They are solid one. Most of the only solid, only two are the, we can say, liquid one. Most of the metals are solid one, so they have the high melting points, also high boiling points. Now, the next one more property the metal shows that the metals are there, they are, we can say that the sonorous. Sonorous, that is called a sonority. They show the property of sonority. Means what? If we strike the metal, if we struck the metal one, they made the, we can say, sound one. See that in the temple, or we can say if you go to meet like this many places when the gongs are there, bells are there, if you just, we can say that we strike one, the sound is produced one. So metals are there, they produce a sound on striking, then that property is there, it is called the sonority. So these are the, we can say, properties which are shown by the, we can say that the metals one. Now, in opposite of that, if you see about the physical properties of non-metals, non-metals do not show the luster one. Exception, I told exceptions are there. Exception, iodine. Now, iodine is there, which is a non-metal, but it, we can say, shows luster property one. Then metals, how we are saying metals are ductile one, non-metals are not ductile. Metals are malleable, non-metals are not malleable. Then metals show sonority, non-metals do not show sonority. If you see the nature of the, we can say, non-metals, how we are seeing here, metals are solid, and only exception to are the liquid one. Like this, non-metals are there. They are solid and gaseous one. Only one we can say that the non-metal is there, that is called bromine. This bromine, which is we can say non-metal one, and it is in liquid state. All other non-metals are there. They are in the, we can say, either solid state, and few are in solid state, and few are in the, we can say that the gaseous state one. Then these metals are the non-metals are there. They are not, we can say that the hard one. They are brittle, we can say that the. Even more, we can say that they have the, we can say that the low melting point and the low boiling point one. Now we are saying that non-metals are not hard, but carbon, its allotrope, you see, the allotrope of carbon is the, we can say, diamond. Diamond is there, it is a, we can say, allotrope of carbon. You know allotrope, different forms of the same element having the, we can say, same chemical properties one, but different physical properties. So diamond and graphite, okay, these both are the crystalline forms of the, we can say, carbon. This we had in the last year. So diamond is there, which is a, we can say, hardest substance. Hardest substance. Even it is more harder than, we can say, metals one. It is the hardest substance one. It also, we can say that we can say show some luster one, but because of these two properties, it doesn't become the, we can say, metal one. So the diamond is a, we can say that the hard substance one. Then if you see the melting point, boiling points, they are the low melting point and boiling point. One more property that I have to discuss with you about the metals one. Metals are there, they are the, we can say that the good conductors of heat and electricity. They are good conductor of heat and electricity, which are metals. Now non-metals are there, they are the, we can say that the bad conductor of heat and electricity one. Only exception is there, again we can say graphite. Graphite is a non-metal one, but graphite is, we can say that it is a good conductor of electricity one. So whatever properties that we discuss, just you summarize that one and try to, we can say, write the, we can say that the distinguishing points between this, we can say that the metals and non-metals. So students, so far we discussed the, we can say that the physical properties of metals and non-metals. So whatever properties that we studied, see, it was there even, we can say that the earlier standard also. But as we studied now, the, we can say that the periodic classification of elements. Now you will come to know which elements are the, we can say, metals and non-metals and metalloids. One more thing I want to tell you, that when you study this chapter 1, along with the, we can say that the, when you study a physical properties one, that time step by step you see the, we can say, the periodic classification, that periodic table you see, modern periodic table. Means you will study both the chapters together one. You will come to know which are the metals, which are the non-metals one, again how they are classified one. You will come to know that on the zigzag line there are few, we can say that the very few elements are there, they are called metalloids one. It means they show some properties of metals, some properties of non-metals. Then you come to know the, we can say, solid state, which are solid one, which are liquid one. So when you study systematic level, you will feel that this chapter is very, we can say, important one. Even it is a, we can say that the very interesting one. Okay, that no chapter we can say boring. Only when you take interest in the, we can say, study one, that chapters are very interesting one. So today you take one assignment. You study this first, watch this video, study this properties one, and then just make the, we can say that the make the, we can say, columns one, and distinguish between the, we can say that the metals and non-metals on the physical properties. Sometimes they ask on these properties distinguish the